Hey, let's have a quick talk. Have you noticed that the capital raising game has completely changed over the past couple of years? Are you a syndicator, a fund manager, a capital raiser that's struggling to attract investors beyond friends and family, and it's just become so difficult to raise enough money for your deals? Are you losing out on incredible real estate deals that are now showing up in the market because you're not confident that you can raise enough money from your investors to take down those deals? Or worse yet, are you even considering having to throw in the towel on your real estate business and go back to your W-2 because you're struggling to get those deals done due to lack of capital? This is why I created LinkedIn Capital Raising Secrets. It's a course where I teach you my proven 4-step system to turn strangers on LinkedIn to investors in your real estate deals. We teach you how to hack the LinkedIn algorithm so your target investors see your content, learn from you, like you, trust you, and invest with you. And that is just the beginning of what you'll learn. LinkedIn has over 1 billion users who are looking to grow their wealth, and you have a fantastic opportunity to tap into high net worth individuals to invest in your real estate deals. So in this 8-week on-demand course, we teach you how to find qualified leads and turn them into investors in your deals without feeling like a pushy used car salesman. Oof. So how do you sign up? Go to capitalraisengsecrets.com now and click apply. Fill out our application and see if you're a good fit for the course. We want to make sure that we can help you. And our course will show you how to raise millions and millions of dollars of capital from complete strangers compliantly on LinkedIn, just like I've done, so you don't have to worry about falling short on a raise again. Visit capitalraisengsecrets.com and click apply now to get more information. Raising capital for real estate community. Oh my gosh, I've got a fun one for you all today. It's not just me yapping. I got my friend Tim Dowling here today. I've been looking forward to recording this episode for so long, and you guys are really in for a treat today. But since the podcast is growing, I'm just going to let you all know, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Amy Sylvis. I'm the founder and CEO of Sylvis Capital. And hey, we teach people how to raise capital, whether you're a fund investor, whether you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, all of those things. And we're here to do a coaching episode with Tim and answer some questions. And we think it'll add a lot of value to you all today. So if you don't know Tim, welcome. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Tell us all about you. For anyone who is in the unfortunate position of not knowing who you are, let's let them know.
So I appreciate it. And before I even go there, I just got to say, for those of you that are just tuning in to listening to Amy, I hit every one of her episodes. I think you're at 13 now that you've put out. Is that right?
Yes, yes, I
Yeah,
can't
I don't know
believe
how
that.
I know that, but I spend the time at the gym on treadmills or spin bike in the suffering pain of my day. And I listen to Amy and I listen to those episodes over and over, and I'm teaching myself what she's putting out there. And one of these days I'm going to get involved with her program when I have more time to focus. And so anyway, that's Amy's awesome. If you haven't just tuning in, Amy's the one.
Oh, checks in the
Yeah.
mail, Tim. Thank you. Thanks for
Oh,
saying that.
hell yeah. I needed a paycheck. Anyway, so Tim Dowling, the easiest way also just to find me, you can look at it, is LinkedIn, same as Amy. I've been in real estate for over 20 years. This is now my second downturn, so it's fun to watch. I thought it was coming way before it ever did. I mean, I thought it was coming like 4 years before it did, so I kept on like holding my breath. But anyway, I started off residential. I ended up selling HUD homes. I was one of the main contractors for HUD from actually through that last downturn of '08 to 12. I read The Rich Dad Poor Dad, which probably everybody listening to this has, and just really hit home. And from that, I started buying lots of investment properties. And then I started transitioning 1031s into duplexes, actually, no, I never did fourplexes. Those never seemed like they made sense to me. But then I took one of my duplexes and I 1031 into my first apartment complex. There was 3 of us in a tick. We owned 60 units down in Houston. Then I bought an RV park, and then I bought a mobile home park. And I continued to delve deeper and deeper into commercial while doing a ton of residential. And then I started, one of the things that I learned along the way, and I've heard from people, is these prices are stupid, and you can't control them. Why not build it? And it finally, all the right things lined up. And so right now I just finished permits on it's larger than it needs to be, a 431 unit apartment complex. We're going to size it down to 300 because of the economy, but we 4 years to get permits. I'm also doing a large 64,000 square foot retail destination site, which I'm super
Ooh.
thrilled about. And I'm going to own 2 restaurants on the site too, once we're all said and done. So, yeah, it's been a heck of an exploring piece. I raised capital from the family and friends, like Amy talks about, and I dried out their wallets. And so, my biggest challenge right now is moving to that next stage because I've raised around somewhere between 5.5 or 6 million in the last few years. And I knew it was going to run out. And I'm just trying to conceptualizing, listening to Amy, taking myself to the next level. So I'm here to suck every bit of information out of Amy's head.
Let's go. Tim,
Yeah.
your story is so impressive. The fact that you've been able to do all of that with friends and family money is really impressive and rare. So I think that's great, but I'm excited to hear, what you're up to, all the great things that you're doing. And yeah, as you said, to help you get to the next level. So let's dive in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So number one, because Amy taught me. So, LinkedIn has been a resource of mine for some time, and I've actually been twisting and turning it, not just with Amy. There's a couple other people that have been in my head, and I'm learning how to make it work for myself, creating a very focused agenda and understanding who my avatar is. And, Amy, that's a piece. My first question for you is, when I went back and I looked at all the investors that I had, because it was just like, hey, I don't know who I want to have as my avatar. Who is my target?
Mm.
I was like, you know what? Let me look at who I got. And what ended up being is half of them are real estate professionals. They're brokers, they're developers and such, property manager kind of folks. And then the rest of them were all owners, just owners of businesses. So then, I was like, okay, I got two avatars. I can't do that. But then I had the realization that I think it's one and the same because real estate professionals and business owners are the same person. But how do I effectively, can I do that? Have two? I've been doing it on my LinkedIn recently where you can see where I'm playing out both of the pieces and mentioning it and bringing it up. But what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Oh, I love this. I love that you have a target avatar that you've thought through this. Most people haven't, and it makes perfect sense why, right? Because most people are like, Amy, I don't care who invests with me. I need all the money to get my project across the finish line. So
Which is
kudos.
still me.
And thank you for that candor because the truth is on LinkedIn or on social media, the more narrow you go in terms of your messaging, the irony is the wider your net is that you will cast. And how in the world is that true? It's because when you start to speak to people's fears, people's goals, people's desires, folks will pick and see little pieces of themselves in all of it. It might not fit completely, but at least they're hearing little pieces and they go, oh, Tim's talking about me. Oh, Tim's going to help me solve this issue, or Tim's going to get me closer to my goal that way. So, anyway, just want to commend you for doing that. I'm going to back up before I answer your question and ask you something real quick because I love that you've examined who's invested with you thus far. But I do want to ask you, is that who you want moving forward? Just because they've invested with you, does that feel like the true, maybe the lowest hanging fruit, the people that you love to work with? Are they risk averse? Are they the type of people that are kind of at the front end of the adoption curve where they're less risk averse? Just things like that.
So in my opinion, because I've done some deep thinking on that part
Yeah.
too,
Good.
and it's the part I like about that group is they're like me. They are me. And so
Perfect.
we think so similarly. And
Great.
it's I'm not having to start from step one. And because the overall concepts are there, location, what the product is, does it fit the zone? So all those pieces are there on the real estate professional side, on the
Yeah.
business owner side. Same thing. I mean, because of my serious lack of ability to deal with authority, I've had to work on my own for, I don't know, 30 years.
Yeah.
And so I think like a business owner, I think like
Great.
brokers. And so
Okay.
I think it's the right piece. I sometimes wonder though, because I listen to other people and they sometimes put a doubt in my head. And then it takes me a little bit to erase that doubt
Mm.
because they're like, you can't have other real estate professionals. Those guys are the biggest, pickiest, most whatever what I can, and then I remind myself, no, they understand what I'm doing. And when the questions that they ask, I answer what they're looking for. Does that make sense?
Completely. And I should have started that question off, Tim, by saying there's no agenda behind that question. I don't have any doubt that that's the right target avatar for
Yeah.
you. I just truly wanted to
Yeah.
push just to see if you were just thinking, hey, well, this is just what I have, so I should go for it in the future, or if it's truly a group that
Yeah.
resonates with you. And it sounds like it's the latter.
I don't make the mean to sound to make it negative, but because I've
You
been
are.
in it so long and around the world, I've seen some things just go sideways because it's wasted effort.
Totally. What I'm
Yeah.
hearing, Tim, and I'll get to your question, I promise. I didn't mean to derail us, but I think it's a great learning experience for everyone that's maybe thinking through their target avatar. What I'm hearing is I'm my target avatar. I understand these people. These people are entrepreneurial. They're not afraid of taking risk. They know this space already. So maybe I'm not even having to spend the time to educate them. They know what good looks like. Maybe there's some education for you to do alongside because it's a little bit of a different twist on what they're already doing, but it really sounds like you haven't just kind of defaulted into this avatar or avatars, but rather you've thought through why they are a good fit, why you like them, why they aren't a PETA. That's that pain in the toe case that you just mentioned. So
A
perfect.
much more appropriate way to say it.
Throw in some Yiddish, and I don't speak Yiddish, but it's a fun word. So that's perfect. Okay, great. So I love your question about can you target two target avatars at once on social media? That was your question, right? I want to make sure
Yes.
I heard it. You absolutely can. What I would say, and what I do teach my students, is I would master one avatar at a time first. So, and only you know if you feel like you've mastered that messaging on LinkedIn. So, what do I mean by that? If the people that follow you on social media that do fit one of your target avatars, do they feel like, in your opinion, that they're consistently hearing from you messages that are targeted directly to them? What is the business owner looking for? What are their goals in life? What are their pain points? What are their fears? Are they really, really dialed in? Tim understands me. Tim hears me. Tim knows me better than I do. And Tim has shown me how what he does solves my goal or helps me reach my goals, helps me solve my pain points, and alleviates my fears. So if you're doing that consistently, there's no problem in toggling back and forth in between those avatars. But if you think that you still maybe haven't been crystal clear consistently with one of those avatars, then I would just sink your teeth into one for a few months, and then you can layer on the second one. Is that
I like
helpful?
that. I do, because there's a whole nother level I can go with the real estate side, the professionals, because I just, yeah, understanding all the components and how it plays and how the brain set typically works for that industry. You're right.
Yes. Yeah. My goal really for you is every time someone gets on the call with you to have kind of
Yeah.
an educational or, kind of evaluation type call that they say they feel like they already know you and they feel like you already know them just in terms of how they think and how they feel. That's when things start to get really, really good because you're one to many messaging at scale. So you're not spending a ton of one-on-one time. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's a time for that. But leading up to that, they've been so nurtured and so kind of bought into what you're talking about that they're almost already sold and ready.
Yeah. Well, and that leads in, Amy, if you don't mind me rolling it to the next piece,
Please,
because
please.
I've been tweaking and playing with LinkedIn because I totally agree with you. It's the absolute best social media source. It's the highest income earners and it's people talking our language.
Yeah.
But where I'm still in that transition point, and let me kind of back that up. So, created the website that I'm about to launch probably later today once I have some tweaks fixed on my capital raising side, where I'll be providing, where people can link in, pull newsletters. I'll be creating a podcast just to have every couple of weeks have
Ooh,
somebody that I'll be talking to. I wonder where I learned that from. Oh, wait, that was Amy.
you're silly.
And just I tell you, I listen to these over and over. It's ridiculous.
I love it.
Anyway, so creating those pieces, but where I'm still not figuring out is because I do not pitch slap in LinkedIn, and I get pitch slapped, as you know, just like you, all the time.
The
And
worst.
what I'm trying to figure out is how do I get them to convert from, because I know that on LinkedIn, time is an issue for everybody. And I'm wearing a lot of hats with my project.
Yeah.
So I really can't put the effort in to be able to jump around and comment on people's posts that I really want to comment. I just don't have the time to do it. But
Mm.
how do I continue to grab that group and then convert them over to want to jump over to the website or reach out for connections?
Yeah. Okay. I love this question. This is the key. Let me ask you one question before I answer. Tell me about having time to comment. How much time is that generally taking you?
My goal is, I have a post ready to roll 6 a.m.
Okay.
I like to hit those East Coasters.
Yeah.
And that's actually, it's perfect because then I'm walking dogs and I'm hitting the gym. So I'm probably replying to posts for off and on through an hour, listening to Amy and replying to LinkedIn posts. And then, whenever I have an odd time, I have the wonderful affliction called ADD. It's an amazing tool.
It's a superpower.
Yeah, it is. I run my list, and whenever I finish an item on a list, a lot of times I'll jump over and do a quick one or two, and then I jump back into my list. So is that answer?
It does, yeah. The reason I'm asking is because I think commenting, this is going to be a three-part answer. I think commenting is such a powerful tool to achieve what you're looking to do. So I was just trying to understand maybe what a barrier might be to you commenting and making it feel like you don't have enough time
Now we're talking about commenting on their post
on other people's posts.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But then there again is the challenge. And I know there's folk with LinkedIn and the LinkedIn sales piece navigator part that it's just, there's this ebb and flow. And so in terms of being able to jump in and look, okay, who posted today? Let's see if which ones are like catching my attention and people I want to, make sure to jump out to
Yeah.
just because of limited time.
Yeah.
That's my challenge because it's like I could lose somebody in the stream for a while and just because it doesn't show up anywhere on my screens.
Right, right. Okay, so let's dive into the comment part and then we'll solve the greater question. So, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, if you have it, if you don't have it, for everyone that's listening, that's okay too. But if you decide to make an investment, I think it's a great investment. You can look at people in a specific geographic area, a specific industry, job title, experience. There's also a fun little button that'll show you people who have created a post in the past couple weeks. I think that's an incredible tool to look at maybe once a week and create a quick little spreadsheet with these people's links so that, to their profile. So you can go in real quick, maybe 5 times a week and figure out what they've posted and comment something. That can be a shortcut. Helpful? It's okay if it's not. Okay.
No, it is. No, it is.
Okay. All right. The other great thing is the algorithm. If you are consistently commenting on your target avatar's content, the algorithm is going to start serving that up to you. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to find your target avatar and engage in their content because you're training the algorithm. I know you commented on a few of my posts and you were joking with me. You're like, you told me not to, but I'm going to anyway. Perfectly fine. I obviously love the engagement. But just know every time we comment on something on LinkedIn, it's training the algorithm to serve us more of that type of content. So I see a lot of people in our industry, which is great. We're very collaborative. We want to support each other, commenting on other syndicator and capital raisers posts. And that might be your target avatar, and that's perfectly fine. But just know that we can inadvertently create an echo chamber by commenting on our own industry people's content instead of our target avatar. If it's
No, I absolutely have seen that. And I'm working on untraining it. And that's where I'm having the challenge.
Yeah, makes sense. And truly, Tim, if your post goes live at 6 a.m. and you can find 3 people to comment on, and that's the entire thing that you do during the day, that's a huge win. That makes a big impact on targeting, your target avatar. That makes a huge impact in hacking the algorithm. Most people aren't commenting or posting. So I know in our own kind of very LinkedIn involved type, sphere that we're in, it might not seem like a lot, but 3 comments a day is outstanding. So maybe that's a little bit more of a bite-sized or manageable piece for you to commit to a few times a week. I think you'll be really surprised at how impactful that can be towards targeting those folks you want to get their attention to.
Now, how do you take them from there
Yes.
to get in the actual interaction?
Yes. Yeah. So this is part of the trust fall that you've heard me talk about on LinkedIn. So what we're doing when we're raising capital is we're planting a whole bunch of seeds and we're watering, and we do not have a crystal ball to know when these seeds will germinate, but we do know it's a numbers game. So we're planting thousands of seeds over time and watering every single day. They're going to start germinating, they're going to start popping up, and they're going to flourish. The key is, and I think the question behind the question is, how do we get them off the platform into our customer relationship management system on the phone and ultimately wiring? And the 2 strategies I've seen that have been the most successful, are one is a lead magnet. So most people, and again, it might be different for your target avatar, Tim, because some of them are already real estate folks, but let's focus on the business people that are maybe not in real estate. They're going to start seeing how you're saying, hey, your fear that you're not going to spend enough time with your kids because you're working your tail off at starting your company or operating your company, and you want to buy back more of your time. Real estate can help solve this. They're going to start seeing that you're speaking to them, and then they're going to wonder, what is that next step, or what exactly is involved in what he's talking about? So having a lead magnet in your profile and the same thing that you post about consistently, whether it's a webinar, whether it's a tear sheet, whether it's an ebook that really says, hey, you're the CEO of your own company. Here's how to be the CEO of your own time, or whatever kind of thing you want that outlines investing passively alongside of you. That's going to allow you to add value to them. And then, of course, capture their information to allow you to nurture that relationship once you get them off the platform. So the first is that lead magnet. The second is holding, whether they're LinkedIn Lives, whether they're monthly type webinars that just give more education. The framework that I have, you've read the book called The Go-Giver by Bob Burg, I think. Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So anytime and I'm sure you think the same way, want to raise more capital, I try to think of ways to give. So the more I give, the more I will receive. So if I'm giving tax planning, educational webinars, asset protection, how to underwrite, or, whatever you think that your target avatar really needs to understand. It's just a way for you to be able to further engage, further build that know, like, and trust, and make that leap from the platform into kind of your ecosystem where you're further developing that relationship. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. It does.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
really, those are powerful bridges.
So if I go look on LinkedIn, I can see these different lead magnets that do they change?
Yeah. So I've had a similar one for a while. I'm actually working on changing one. Mine's a webinar. Some people like webinars. I've gotten feedback from some people that are like, dude, Amy, I don't have time to sit here and watch you yap. I'm already listening to you on podcasts. Give me a tear sheet. Give me an ebook. But yeah, there are several people in our industry that do this really, really well. And again, the goal isn't to, I've got your information. Now I'm going to spam you. I know you're not like that, but I just want to make sure everyone knows. But it is a way to nurture and add value and deepen that relationship. But yeah, you'll find mine on LinkedIn for sure.
Do you also, in terms of like, say, a newsletter? Because the hard part is once again falling back into time.
Yes.
There's just so many different things that are doing on a daily basis.
Yep.
And I don't read newsletters. All the people that send them to me, they all go to my second inbox and hit delete once a day on the whole pile. Your thought? It looks like you're saying no.
They're exhausting. I mean, I can't remember. This may be coming out next week. So you may actually be forecasting the future here, my friend, about newsletters. I think they're effective if you have one topic, one call to action, getting it out, that's it. If you're going to send a newsletter, that's how I manage my CRM. No one wants, exactly as you said, a full book in their inbox. Nobody cares. I'm sorry. I apologize if I'm hurting your feelings, but no one cares enough to get your full update and a full root canal on your industry. Have one point, hey, K1s are coming. Here's the top thing you need to make sure you understand about your K1. Done. Or, hey, we're looking at, the Trump big beautiful bill came and there's a tax benefit. Here's one takeaway. And if you want to learn more, here's my 2-second article, that you can click if you want to learn more. But you're 100% correct. And I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's I don't know where people got that idea that those newsletters are effective. They take a lot of work on the author's part, and everyone's just deleting them or maybe reading the first line or two. So you're spot on.
And going backwards, back to the commenting on posts.
Yeah.
And having the, traditional, posts that you're putting out there on a consistent basis, it has to do with having that lead magnet that's available for people to click into it. Because no one has time to jump around and people, hey man, you're doing cool stuff. I do that for the tenants that I'm after to come to my site. I actually I'm super thrilled. It was a really cool, unique place that I really want at my site because we're creating a destination retail site. And he reached back out today, said, hey man, this is a pretty cool idea. Let's talk some more. It's like, damn yeah.
Yeah. Good job. Let's go.
But for the investors, it's like, because you get, we said it, the pitch slap. Hey, have you ever thought about And I try to ignore them, but then I'll like, if I get past, sometimes I'll say something and then I usually delete.
Yeah, there you go. But to your point, I think this is what you're asking, Tim, in terms of posting. So, kind of the
Yeah.
funnel is we're creating posts that
Yeah.
address our target avatars' fears, goals, and really what they want to avoid. So a business owner, I mentioned the maybe not spending enough time with children. Maybe someone is a 55-year-old W-2 person and they're afraid if they get laid off, then ageism is going to mean that they're never going to be able to find another, job. Just speaking to that. So that's the top of the funnel. And then it's, oh my gosh, Tim, I'm seeing Tim's post. He's talking exactly about me. He's helping me understand what might alleviate this or what might help me get towards my goal. And then they visit your profile and they're like, what's this Tim guy all about? And then they land on your profile and they see your lead magnet in your profile. So there's a place underneath your headline to give that. So they'll click into that and say, okay, I want to get to know more what this is all about. And on occasion, maybe 2 or 3 times a month, you will actually make a post with your lead magnet that says, hey, if this makes sense to you, or if this is, your goal, or if this sounds like you, here's a way to dive deeper. So that's kind of, I don't know if that was your question, but that's what I
That
can.
was absolutely my question.
Okay, cool. Then they see Tim's holding a live webinar about something that maybe isn't exactly real estate, but it's real estate adjacent, like asset protection, like, finding a good financial advisor, like how to mitigate taxes. So then they're coming into your universe like that too, or listening to
Now,
your
you're
podcast.
dudes. To jump over to your website, Sylvis Capital, if
Yes.
those don't know it, it doesn't look like you're pigeonholing your avatar. This is more generalized.
It is my website is just there for people who have already discovered who I am and just want to dive a little bit deeper. So, targeting the avatar is where you're bringing people into your universe. And then once they're in your universe, they want to figure out, can I trust this person? Is this person legit? So for me, my website isn't about specifically talking to my target avatar. It's more of a credibility piece. Am
I
I
got you.
right? Because my target avatar's never heard about hands-off investing in real estate. Is it a scam? Is it real? Is she legit? Is she a criminal? I don't know. What has she done before? Can I trust her? Is this her first time doing this and my capital's at risk? So the website is really about I'm legit. I have a track record. I know what I'm doing. I'm not a scam artist. But that's a really good observation. It is definitely a lot more generic, but it is purposely so.
I got you. But then your tear sheets and everything else, where does that link to or get sent from to grab? Are you having spots on your website that are just kind of hidden behind the wall?
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff that are hidden, that's hidden. My goal is this is a relationship business, right? So this isn't a $5 or $10 widget. This is something that's purposely not for everybody. So folks get access to more information once I'm able to give them more of that tailored experience when I understand what they're looking for. So the goal really is for them to understand who I am and what the benefit is through social media, my podcast, etc. Then once we talk, I can give them bits of information, outside of my lead magnet on social media
Yeah.
that can help them along that journey. So those tear sheets, those lead magnets can be top of the funnel or middle of the funnel, depending upon what each person's needs are. Does that
I
make
hear you.
sense?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Man,
Yeah.
you got this game figured out,
Lots of trial and error, friend. I wish this all happened overnight. I wish I had a guide. And that's what's
Yeah.
motivated me to do stuff like this, is because too many people are struggling. So I'm like, hey, why don't we just talk about
Well,
it, give folks the keys to the
yeah.
kingdom so they can
Well, on
succeed.
top of that, yeah, as you mentioned before, is that, you were taking those explorations during COVID and you couldn't get out and about, or it could be
That's it.
life threatening to you.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
funny that that was actually my time too, where I hyper focused myself from being all over Texas investing down to a 12-mile radius from my house. I only invest within 12 miles from my house because
I love that.
well, it was a realization during COVID. It was, my God, I know everything about every nook and cranny. Why am I going trying to re-educate myself everywhere I go? And I happen to be in one of the most fertile environments in the world, right on the edge of Austin. So it's
That's
like,
amazing.
yeah. So both of us had a different epiphany. I think a lot of people had those during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tim,
Yeah.
what you just said, I want to make sure you and everyone else just heard that, because that's a big differentiator between you and a lot of people. I'm in California. I invest all the way in the Midwest and the Southeast. You're within a 12-mile radius of where you live because you know it like the back of your hand. That's a massive competitive advantage. If that isn't tattooed, Tim, on your forehead, on your website,
I have a lot of space.
you a 5-head like me, my friend? Because it's not a 4-head, it's a 5-head.
Yeah.
But if that isn't all over your LinkedIn, if that isn't in every third or fourth post that you post about why that's so important and how that helps people, how that reduces risk, I think that's brilliant, my friend. That I love that you talk about that. Having kind of your origin story or your competitive advantage, we're not bashing other people. We're just talking about what makes us different. I think is great. I love that you bring that up.
Gotcha. Well, that's a good, that's glad you brought, I've been pondering that because it's, even for the podcast, the origin story is that I know that was a piece of it, but I know that now that you're saying that in the last few weeks, I haven't even hit on that piece in any kind of anything, even a mention in my post. And that is a huge component.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Oh my gosh.
No, I know where the neighbors are crazy and
right? Yeah. Well, and you can see tiny little, because markets change, and who's going to be able to notice those tiny little signals better than Tim, who lives in the area and knows everybody and all that stuff. That's brilliant. That's really,
man. Say, Amy, this right there. You just threw me a nugget, man. Just threw it at me. What? It's huge because that's exactly what I need, because I feel myself that I've been kind of drifting away from that whole piece, and that is who I am.
Huge. Yeah. Oh, this has been so fun, Tim. Thank you again for scheduling time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course. Of course. This is a blast.
Just know that you spend time on the treadmill and the spin bike, and I'm so unhappy being on those things, but you're making it tolerable.
You're so sweet. I love that. That makes me happy. I hate, me and my half a lung get on the treadmill too, and that's a nightmare too. So just know I'm doing it alongside of you, huffing and puffing, and I'm glad we're both contributing to our health and, also leveling up our capital raising game.
Awesome.
How can folks get a hold of you? You said LinkedIn, right? We're going to make sure to include that in the show notes.
Easiest spot is LinkedIn. It's got, you can click the link and get my phone number, my email. I don't hide anything.
I love it.
Heck, you put my name all over the web and boom, there's that ugly bald guy. And I'm there.
You're so silly. It's your trademark. Thanks again, friend. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Make sure to reach out to Tim. You can see what a blast he is. He's smart, a ton of experience. So we're just so grateful for you joining us today. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Amy. You're awesome.
All right. Talk to you soon, everyone. Bye for now. Hey, if your 2025 didn't go as you planned, the question isn't what goal should I set for 2026? It should be, what should I be doing before the real estate deals show up? I just closed a 4-property portfolio in Oklahoma, 498 units. My partners and I raised $12 million. 83% of the capital that I raised came from people that I did not know 3 years ago. I didn't know most of these people just 1 year ago. Your friends and family are completely tapped out and flying all over the country, going to conferences, trying to raise capital from other people who are trying to raise capital from you. Come on, we know it's no longer working. I created a 4-step system that works to help you increase your capital raising capacity in just 90 days, to dramatically increase the number of people who know who you are, to give them the opportunity to decide whether or not they like you without doing one-on-one calls. And when they book calls with you, they say, I feel like I already know you and I'm ready to wire money to your next deal. Learn more at capitalraisengsecrets.com. That's capitalraisengsecrets.com, and apply to see if you're a good fit for our 8-week on-demand course. Looking forward to seeing you there.